Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Dikarabo. If you're new here, welcome. Where have you been? Why have you not been subscribing? I'll wait for you to subscribe. I don't mind. Thank you. Before I start with my video, this face beat is sponsored by Dingy's Glam Studio. She is based in the north of Pretoria, Montana to be exact. She does bridal glam, bridesmaids, any kind of event that you would want to go. And she will have a special from the 1st of December to the 23rd of December, a 10% off on all her services. So be sure to check her out. I will leave her details down below and you can check out her work. I will also leave the links to her social media pages so that you can check her work. But today, this is how I look. I did not ask for a specific look. Yeah, she just did what she does best with my face. Anyway, let's get into it. Guys, I'm so excited for this particular conversation. I don't know why. I think it's a conversation that I've always wanted to have. And I've had with my friends as well previously, but I just thought, why not share with everybody else, with my followers. So let's get into it. So let's get started. All right, so basically, I think you can see by the okay, I did not write the title, that I'm sure of. All I want to say is that we honestly need to be honest. We need to be honest about so many things. And one of the things that we need to be honest about, kigamojolo. Like, ro rata fela, guys. And ro papela re le ba banyane. So the topic, or what I'm going to speak about, is the culture of hosala mojolo morago in our early 20s. Growing up, Shabu, your parents tell you do not date, tababa shimane, don't do this, don't do that, right? Eventually, when you're 18, you obviously start to have more freedom. You start to go to universities, and you start to realize that, I can actually start dating, and I can actually be with almost any man that you can actually want to be with, and eventually after matric, now you start getting into a relationship, and most of the time you get into a relationship with your peer, someone almost your age, if not your age, or and you start to build up that relationship, and a lot of the time it's normally with a person who you were sort of in a relationship with in high school, then obviously you build that up post matric, and you start growing together. You start surrounding yourself with a lot of other people from different backgrounds, people from who have different cultural beliefs, different cultures, different morals and values. That's important. Different morals and values that you have, right? And you don't necessarily realize how much these people influence the decisions that we make, the people that we see, the places that we go to. You know what I mean? And then well, for me, I'll speak for myself. I started surrounding myself with, in my second year, I believe. Okay, actually, in my first year, I surrounded myself with people who wanted to explore, because they're finally out of a bubble, and they honestly want to explore, because when I live freedom, you have the liberty to do absolutely anything that you want to do, and nobody's gonna see you. You know what I mean? And then those people start getting into relationships with definitely not the kind of person that you are dating. They start getting into relationships with older people. They start experiencing mojolo, only completely different from yours, right? Already that then create a sort of a normal, what society has deemed normal, the kind of relationship society has deemed normal. That relationship where an older guy is dating a younger girl, and obviously the older guy is going to start giving the younger girl money. They're going to start going to places that you and your peer boyfriend don't go to. They are going to start doing things that you and your peer boyfriend don't do. Now what that then does is that it makes you believe, oh no man, this boyfriend he's not actually, why A, B, C, and D? Why can't my peer boyfriend do the same for me? Now it leaves you wanting more. It leaves you wanting to chase better men. it leaves you wanting to explore other things that your peers are doing. I get it when you are in a group of friends, more especially, and you're the odd one out. Of course, you're going to want to start doing things that everybody else is doing because it is deemed normal. You know what I mean? And you leave that peer boyfriend, the one who's your age, you leave that relationship and you start chasing now. And that's where the mistake comes in for me. And all of this is very subjective. It's based on my own personal experiences. I am not looking down on anyone. I'm just sharing my own personal experience, right? And so you start chasing, you start doing things that everybody else is doing, and not necessarily everyone, matter what the I want to remain politically correct. I don't want to be controversial, you know what I mean? But yeah, and now you are left in a season or in a phase of your life where you are seeing a man or different men at the same time, and maybe for a year, 2 years, for some it even becomes more. You're exposed to a certain lifestyle, and like you just feel good. It gets to a point where you're just like, whoa, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? No, this cannot be it. Now you detach yourself from that kind of life. I guess this is the season that I'm speaking about, where everything just goes wrong. You are 22, but you are chasing. And you're not just chasing you are chasing a man. You know, these are the things that I honestly wish my sisters told me. And not telling me, Gary, peace, but literally sat me down and told me, there's going to be a phase where A, B, and C happens. Don't let this phase get to you, or don't, you know what I mean? Because you're 22 and you're chasing a certain kind of man. Guys, let's break that down a little bit. First of all, as a 22-year-old, you don't even know yourself that well to be able to say, yes, now I can fully get into that kind of committed relationship and probably look into marriage. You know, you are not in that, like, but we are chasing men, and not just men who, you know, who we probably, yes, we see ourselves libona in the future, but they don't necessarily see that the same for us. For Bona, it's a seasonal thing. It will happen at that time, and when the feelings have died down, or the last rather has died down, then relationship if a deal, you know. And this chasing makes you, like, you start being, what's the word that I'm looking for? You start wanting things that just don't exist, which wealthy man is gonna marry you at 22. Like, let's just be honest. And no, guys, it's just, all of these things are not feasible. You know, I wish so many people were honest with us and to tell us, do not fall into that trap, because iyandlula, it's a phase, it passes, and it's normal. Or rather, it's not normal. You know, I wrote down my notes, so don't be surprised when I look down, you know. And after the chase, I get it during, you know, experience. I believe that experience is the best teacher. Once you go through all of that experience, you start realizing that there's more to life than chasing for a man or chasing after a man. There's more to life than seeking a certain kind of man. Like, you first need to win. As a human being, start to know what you want, the goals that you have for yourself, short-term goals. Have you even achieved those yearly goals that you have for yourself? These big things, you know. Start realizing, what are your values? Yes, you have values growing up as a child that your parents have instilled in you, but as an individual, as an adult right now, what are the values that you want for yourself going forward? You know what I mean? And once that then happens, now you become single, right? You're 23, 24, you are a single as they come. You know what I mean? You're as single as they come. And that's where, like I said, the learning, the unlearning, that's where all of that happens. That's where you start realizing, hore, this peer that I let go of in when I was 21, he's actually such a good guy, and we could actually make. And then this is, I'm not saying everything happens like this for every woman, you know. Mara, majority of the time, normally the relationships that you have grown up with, you get to keep. Not for everyone though, but like, you know what I mean. That peer boyfriend, the one Alekanelwena, you realize that he's a good guy. You can't compare him to for example, a 35-year-old who has his whole life, like, since I achieved so much, and you're comparing a 20-year-old to him. No, man. Those things are not feasible. They're not attainable. That's what we need to, as young women, these are the kind of conversations that we're supposed to be having. We're supposed to be telling our younger sisters, no, man, there's more to life than just Pashimani. Like, the culture of Khosala Mojolo Morao makes us forget that there are so many beautiful things in life to look forward to. There are so many beautiful achievements that you can achieve without even having a man, you know, like, just by you as a person, without even putting gender to it. Just by you as a person, there are so many things that you can achieve for yourself without even thinking about relationships, right? And yeah, like, you even start to realize, hore, the way I was holding myself as a woman, the way I was conducting myself as a woman, is not exactly how a woman should be held. You know, in the Bible, and I'm sorry to bring up a Bible in such conversations, but I believe the Bible should be our point of reference. In anything, a Bible will always be relevant because it speaks to our daily life, and it speaks to everything that we do every single day. So I was going to quote a verse, Itabili. But it's not a woman's duty to find. Abare he who finds a wife. Abare she who finds a husband. Abare he who finds a wife. Meaning it's he who goes and finds and looks for a wife. It's not, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, and then eventually when all of that dies down, you eventually get into a committed relationship. Beautiful. Wawana, I wish that for every young woman to get into a committed relationship where you're just like, yeah, everything that I've been chasing, all the things that I've been doing are absolutely not worth it for what I'm going through. Like, I didn't have to go through all of that to get to where I am right now, you know? And these experiences make us undervalue ourselves. They make us seem like we're not worth it because we are the ones that have been doing the chasing, looking for men, going after men, where in fact it's supposed to be the opposite direction or the opposite way, you know? And I love it. Well, the single phase, we hate it so much, but I love it so much because it gets to teach us so much about ourselves, things that we didn't even know, things our parents didn't even tell us. Like, you learn, hore, for example, and even in the smallest of things, this is how I like to take care of a home, or this is how I like to take care of myself. And if you're not able to do that for yourself, or if you don't know how to do that for yourself, how are you expecting the next person to do that for you, you know? So yeah, that's the gist of what I wanted to say. So I opened up a questionnaire tag on my Instagram, and I asked people what they feel about the culture of Hosala Mojolo Moraho in our early 20s. Remember, I said that is the topic of conversation today. So quite a few people replied to my tag, and I'm gonna read them right now. The first person said, I experienced turmoils whilst my very close friend, who had not been with her partner for half the years I had been in mine, was seemingly having a smooth sailing relationship and even got married. But then I remembered that my man and I at the same time were together for 3 years. We literally never had a fight till year 3. We were in the honeymoon stage for literally almost 3 years. And once you share life with someone like that, you realize that hurdles are bound to be there and it won't always be smooth sailing. 100%. So now I'm glad I went through those turmoils We're 6 years in and not perfect, but continue to choose each other every day. The beauty of committed relationships. Ay, sana. Society and social media have brainwashed to believe that a relationship that isn't smooth sailing is doomed. But honestly, there's really beauty in the struggle sometimes. So just love yours. Guys, I wanted this lady. She summed it up. Because right now you're in a long-term relationship, comparing yourself to who's the Arengi? Was seemingly having a smooth sailing relationship and even got married. Like we compare ourselves so much in our early 20s. Like we can never be the same. We can never have the same relationships. It can never be. And when you don't know what's happening next door, you don't know. And it's that thing I was speaking about, Hore. You get into relationships which society has deemed normal, right? Those kind of relationships are always they never a dull moment. We were vacation after vacation. And in serious committed relationships, that's not the case. Yes, you'll go on vacations, you'll do all of that, but it's not smooth sailing, guys. It does not work like that, you know. And I love when she says, Hore, she reiterates, Hore, it won't always be smooth sailing. So yeah, man, I fully agree with this. Like, and this statement, so society and social media have brainwashed us to believe that a relationship that isn't smooth sailing is doomed. Do not forget that statement. Next question, next answer rather. This lady says oh no, she first said something else. Wait. Guys, so the next person first started saying this. She's like, please do shoot it. I can't wait to see it. It's never, she means the video. It's never spoken about. And then she's like, I attribute it to us facing, then she continues. I attribute it to us facing so many challenges. We cannot do it alone. So I feel like you feel most lonely in your 20s when you don't have someone. A, because your 20s will show you flames, sana. Yo, we're going through the most. And that's why you need companionship 100%. And not only in romantic relationships, but build community too in terms of friendship. See why I spoke about the importance of having older people or even in their 30s to tell us, like, when we get into or straight from university, no man, like there is more to life than just relationships shouldn't be the only thing you're chasing, and you're going to meet these kind of challenges, you know, and you're going to overcome them, or you can the challenge in order to get there. Companionship is so important, guys, and I love that she said not only in romantic relationships but build community too in terms of friendship, because a lot of people, if you notice, a lot of people, they have friends from university going up. That's why it's important. Like, once you build that circle of friends, that companionship, that togetherness, I'm telling you, you can make it in life. And those are the kind of people who will hold you down in your season or in your phase of singleness or in your season of chasing. Baby girl, no, that's not how we do it, you know. Love it. And then the next person says, she's like, but she first said something. Sorry, guys. So it's the next person says, I'm going to share my personal experience, Sana. And then she's like, apparently, Bob the Builder. Excusing guys. Apparently, Bob the Builder, Gerata Hulukisa, but honestly, that's just who I am. I care too much when in a relationship, guys. I do absolutely everything for my partner. More if I can see who the person isn't in a good state. Mara yo, I always end up crying myself to sleep like Motuating Ukre Asnata shame at all. And guess what? Because I love, this never stopped. Because why? This one isn't him, or he'll change. If okay, no, it's fine. She was apologizing if it's too long. No, it's perfectly fine, babe. Wabon, who bobbed the boat, guys? What do now? And these are my personal views, guys. I hope I don't get butchered for this. It's okay to be Bob the Builder. Like, guys, One thing my sister once told me, it's not possible, especially in this economy. Wealthy men. Do we have wealthy men like Babot in SA? It can't happen. So there has to be, and you're not necessarily dating a guy who is in poverty or is going through the absolute most. No, there's a guy who will be working a normal job, and that guy is also, it's a normal relationship. That's what we must always stress. Out of all marriages, maybe 20% are wealthy kind of marriages. The rest are just normal kind of relationships, which we have seen our parents in. A lot of our parents, like they marriages are like normal relationships, normal jobs, working normal jobs, statesmen. You know what I mean? So it's okay to be above the build, especially if you love, like, not if you love, especially if you are that kind. There are people who are nurturers. There are people who they are nurturers. So wherever they are, they will nurture, they will grow, they will build. And it's just a human characteristic that you cannot take away. It's there, and it says nothing about you. It doesn't even say that you're, it actually says, like, there's no negative, like, it's not negative. Like, it's like, as long as you know when to stop and say, oh, Remo, I've built too much, I need to go. It's like building a triple story house on a double story foundation. You get what I mean? So yeah, I've never been Bob the Builder, guys. So no, actually I have. When I was still doing the chasing, I have, and it's not a nice, no, guys. I wish we didn't have to go through that. See? Next person says, firstly, social media has changed how we view Mjolo. I think we sala Mjolo Moraho because we want to partake in the latest relationship goals. Show off the sweet things our partners do for us, which is okay, but sometimes becomes problematic when that's all a relationship means to you. There's also the pressure of getting married young and starting a family. I've met people who were desperate to get married both. Such people don't ever want to be single. There are other factors which stem from things like abandonment issues and seeking validation from others and not trusting you can actually survive. Guys, Wabana having a dependent, what do they call it? A dependent personality. Like it's a toxic, not a toxic, it's a trauma response. Like you cannot live in a romantic relationship. Yes, you are codependent. You have a codependent personality. You always want to be like you can never be single because you feel like you can never do it. That's a trauma response, guys, and we need to look into that. Like, you can't be 22 and all you're chasing after is not even 20, and all you're chasing for is to be in a relationship. No, guys, these are things that we need to speak about. Like, and we want the social media relationship. Guys, social media is not a real place. Go to social media. Social media poster and because social media is honestly not a real place. It has created a facade of what a real relationship is. Some post their relationships obviously are pure and that's what they actually are, like real deep. But the vast majority of relationships, they are a lie. A big lie. So the next person says, society has made us to believe that we should be loved in a certain way that fits it to extent where your partner does not do 1, 2, 3 for you when out Joel. It's really hard because you will that when you have a good man, but because of what people's perceptions or relationships nowadays, you are not enjoying Mojolo, even the little your man does, or pila obalabala about what he is not doing for you. Amen. I feel like there are still very good men out there that are willing to love you in a good way. But as girls in jail, we just want soft life and what we see on the socials. Listen, exactly. It's the kind of relationships I was speaking about. When you are young, this is the kind of relationship that you want. This is what you think life is all about. Perfectly a wealthy man. That's all you want, because there's more to life. Yeah, nah? There's one thing Gorgeous Mbali once said on Instagram, Ari, when your boyfriend, your 9 to 5 boyfriend, I say vile for 3 months, our regular Gucci, for example, or more compare to that wealthy man who has 5 businesses, some are even listed on the stock exchange, who you can tell now Gucci or regular Gucci. Honey, it does not work like that. You cannot do that comparison. You can't. Otherwise, lie. The other one just said, I'm just interested in hearing this conversation. You're gonna hear it, baby. The next one, Ere, I know my longing to fit in and be validated got me in messy relationships. Exactly. We long to fit in, like myself. You want to do things that, or be in the kind of relationships that your friends are in. It's not possible, guys. It's not possible. Yo, please speak about the necessity to be single. What did I say? And by the way, guys, this is the first time I've seen these thoughts and these comments, okay? Like, literally the first time. Guys, being single, like I said earlier, it is of pivotal importance. Like, it's so important. I'm glad I covered that. And the other one, we just feel like Njolo is not a one size fits all. I see. Ara kubukanira. You know. And yes, I think we have reached the end of this video. If you have reached until this point, please comment down below and tell me what you thought about this video. Let me know if you want more videos like this or more conversations that we should be having. Tell me what you think. Give me topics down below and I'll be sure to speak about them. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and please share my videos. I now have a super thanks tab down below. If you like this video, gonna click a super thanks one because why not? Anyway, please don't forget to subscribe. I love you all so much. Bye.